reason why we've always talked about work and life balance in life generally, and that's the narrative that has been established, doesn't actually come from how we live our lives now. It comes from a time when we went to work, and the work that we did was not necessarily inspiring. It wasn't necessarily something that we were so stoked about. It is the time when we used to work in factories, really. And so what would happen is, like, you would go to work at 9 in the morning and you would work till 5. And when you would come back, you would be with your family. And so it was work and life, and then work and life. And there were two separate entities. You didn't mix work with life, and you didn't mix life with work. And what has happened in the past decade, maybe even a little bit longer than that, is that we've started to choose careers based on things we like. We're not choosing careers mostly, or not necessarily choosing careers just because it's a high income career. We're choosing careers because we actually like that career. We actually like doing what that career gets us to do day in and day out, like the career of coaching or career of transformation. You're excited about that work pretty much all the time. There is no point of dividing work and life when you're excited about your work and your life, right? What about integrating it? Right? What if life and work were integrated together to create a synchronous, beautiful, one cohesive music, instead of playing 2 tracks every day or 4 tracks every day, by saying this is work, this is life, this is friendships, this is, like my parents, and like separating all of them and playing different tracks. What if all of them played one beautiful track that fit your narrative in the best way? Right. And so that really changed the way I looked at work life, or prioritization between work and life. I said my work should fit my life and my life should fit my work. And it's, when I say life, it doesn't only mean my life as in my kids. My life is my wife, my kids, my health, my friends, my travel, my experiences in life, my value system. There's no reason to separate all of them, because if they are together, I get to enjoy every moment of my life. And I think that's the critical difference that has happened in work generally, is work doesn't require as much time effort, if I may call it that, right? Most of the time, so even as intellectual workers, you're not necessarily always working, except if your boss is like an idiot and he wants you to work all the time.
Right.
But any smart boss also understands now, especially because we are all in this intellectual workspace, is that you want your employees, your team members, to actually take a pause. You want them to study. You want them to take a walk. You want them to take care of their mental health, because intellectual work is not about the quantity of work that you do, but the quality of work that you do. And if you're chasing quality, you don't need to necessarily go, I'm going to go balls to the walls 8, 10, 12 hours a day. If you're doing that, you're probably not producing very high quality work. High quality work does require you to sit and think. It requires you to study. It requires you to really kind of engage all your faculties, including intuition, to be able to deliver something that's unique and different and most relevant to the kind of work that is required to be done. So there is no reason for us to think you got to work 8 hours a day. For the matter, that's a policy in my company, in my division, is that you don't work 8 hours a day. I don't track your time. Most of my team is remote, or not remote, they're global. And they're not expected to time log. They're not expected to say, oh, tell me what did you do in the last 8 hours, because I don't care what they did in the last 8 hours. They could finish their work in 3 hours. I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
All I care for was the work high quality. Was it timely? Did we do what we promised we would do? All of those things are way more important than the number of hours that you put into work. And I don't track hours because of the same reason. So there is no work-life balance per se. Work and life need to integrate in this time, because let's say, for example, if somebody's doing intellectual work, let's say you took a lot of data in the day, like you read a couple of books, you read data reports, it is more likely than not that when you're taking a walk or taking a shower is when all of that data that you captured will come to the idea that really is going to benefit the company or your company 100%. And that scientifically is because your brain finally, when you take a shower, and that's why all the great ideas come in showers or right before sleep, is because when your brain slows down, it has time to process information, because you're not consciously feeding more information. When you're taking a hot shower, your brain's not thinking actively about something consciously. And so what happens is the unconscious finally has the time to say, let me connect all the dots and data, and boom, you have the best idea. Now, should I say, oh, this is my lifetime, I'm not going to log this idea? No. Lock the idea. It takes 30 seconds. And then, yes, maybe you will deploy that idea when you actually go to work, but there's no reason to put that separation because your job's not like the old job. You're not doing physical labor where you need to get out of the office and then you really need to like sit down and be with yourself because you have no other slow time. Your work is mostly you procrastinating as well most of the time at this point because there's not enough work.
Yeah.
Most intellectual workers don't have enough work. They're more work that they have to do, and then they have to think about the work. So it's not actual work that they're doing.